What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Let's Talk. And on this Let's Talk, we're going to be looking at the Shaolin versus WuTang Eastern Heroes video game. It's out now on Steam and on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if it's coming to any other consoles at the moment, but I'm playing the Switch version of the game. And this game, I'm going to be honest with you, is not for everyone. Then again, I don't think it was really made for with everybody in mind either. This game was made for the martial arts film crowd, basically the Shaw Brothers and the Kung Fu Theater aficionados, the people who love the Dragon Dynasty collection. These are the This game is basically built off the characters from those films and those martial arts films. So it's a large uh, roster, but they're all of films from that era and characters from that era. Now you won't see the name of the actual character. What you will see is the name of their fighting style. That's how they represent each character, and there's a reason for that. But that's one of those things that they couldn't get the actual licensing, I think, to do the actual names, but that was their workaround for doing that. So what do I think about it? So here's what I liked about it. One of those games that have simple controls. It's easy to pick up, but it's going to be challenging to master. I don't want to say hard to master, but it will be challenging to master because it's about the counter game, blocking and waiting for your openings and things like that. The other thing too is the soundtrack. It has like that. The soundtrack basically sounds like it comes from those 70s, 80s martial arts films. So there's a couple of soundtracks, especially like the Harlem soundtrack, where you go and you basically it's where you fight the Jim Kelly character. I think they called it North American Karate. That one, that's one of my favorites. I love that soundtrack. It's just music to my ears. The combat is fluid, and there are plenty of characters and plenty of different styles to uh, have your choose, have your pick and choose from. Me personally, I like using Bruce Lee or Donnie Yen. That's Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun. Those are my two favorites out of the series so far. But there are a lot of characters in the game, so I think everybody will be able to find that there are one or two characters that they like and that they feel good about. Like I said, it's a nice variety of characters from uh, films all across the Kung Fu Theater, Shaw Brothers, Dragon Dynasty collection. I think that a lot of people will be able to, if you watched any of those films, you'll be able to pick where they come from, and I think that's a good thing because if you don't know them, you'll be like, okay, well, who is this? And that leads into where I think the game could improve in certain areas. I don't want to say what I didn't like, but I will say what it can be improved. It would be nice if they had some kind of a mode, kind of like remember in Smash Brothers where they had the trophies, where you would see a trophy and they give a little blurb about a little flavor text about something about that particular character. I think in this game, what would have helped if they would have had a little bit of a blurb about where each character come from in the movie that they come from, so people can reference it. It also would have been nice to me if they would have had like a true story mode, as opposed to just the traditional ladder mode. The reason why I say a true like story mode that involves the characters is because I think there's a way they could have done it, and it would have been really cool if they would have been able to pull it off. But here's hoping that the more people play it, that more people play it and talk about it, that maybe creator get more funding next time, and if he does another one, he'll be able to implement that. While I personally like the visuals as it feeds my nostalgia, I can see how like some certain gamers probably be turned off by it. Um, the reason why I say this is because it has like a little bit of a film grain look to it, but I think the reason why they did that is because it's trying to emulate those films. So it has like a little bit of that 70s film grain kind of look to it. and I think that's one of the things that, because people nowadays they want photorealistic. I don't really care for that at all. I like the gameplay. I'm a gameplay over graphics guy anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But I think maybe if they would have went with more of a cell shaded look when they did, I think it probably would have helped out a little bit, as opposed to how they actually wound up doing it. And this game does not have an online component. And I think that's probably something, especially with fighting games nowadays, you kind of have to have an online component just because it, it's one of those things to where people have will equate online experience with the fighting game. It's just one of those things that go hand in hand with it. It's kind of like with sports games and racing games, that they pretty much have to have an online component, or people usually don't like it. Me personally, I have friends I've played this with different people over to my apartment or over to their place, and we enjoy it. We have a good time with it. So it doesn't affect me as much, but I can see how needing an online component will be important for some gamers. So that's where I think it can be improved at. Overall, I think the game is a true love letter to the fans of old school martial arts films. There is a sequel to this game on Steam, and I hope that game does make it to the Switch. I saw a couple of trailers for it, and I'm actually interested in and hoping that it does come. So leave me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. Have you played Shaolin versus WuTang? What's your favorite Shaw Brothers or martial arts film? Leave a comment. Let me know. And as always, thanks for watching and thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. And see you guys on the next vid. Peace out, peeps.